What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. So let's dive into Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame. So right now we are seeing some good bull volume here on the weekly time frame. It's likely that we will see some increasing bull volume as this week finishes off here. We have 3 days and 7 hours left until this weekly candle closes. Right now it's looking really good for a candle close above the key high from June 28th for a trend change here. So if we get a candle close above there this week, then the following week we'll look to see if we potentially get another weekly candle close above there to change this trend on the weekly time frame and see us push above here to higher prices. So the area that I'm looking for a potential rise into is this $46,000 300 level here at the R2 pivot, and that's an area I've been talking about for quite a while on this channel. But that's really an area that's right near a 3-day resistance level that I'll talk about in a moment. We had this hidden bullish divergence here in the RSI with a lower low in the RSI but a higher low in price. So that's what's propelling the price up. That and obviously a short squeeze, which we've talked about in a couple of the past videos. The interesting thing to note here is this light blue zone being tested 3 times, and now we're bouncing off of it again here. If we come back in this zone in the future, it's unlikely that this zone will hold, as we continue to test it. So just keep that in mind if we do come back to this zone at some point in the future. 3-day time frame. So on the 3-day, we are really looking good here in terms of bullish price action with increasing bull volume here and a nice strong 3 long-bodied bull candles here. So in about 6.5 hours, if this candle closes above this red zone here, this red zone, which is our previous white candle from back here on July 9th, will end up becoming a support level for price, and that's because this was our bear trend here. And so when you get a bear trend, typically the level where the price bounced from here should be resistance on a retest right here. But when we retested this zone, you can see we just blew right through this zone and then closed above it. So now if we close above it today, this will turn into a support zone for price. The next resistance zone on the 3-day time frame is this R1 pivot, which we talked about yesterday, which is right up at about $41,300. And after that, there's no 3-day resistance until we get up here to about 47K. And that's this previous candle back here. So remember, whenever we're looking for support and resistance, we're always looking for the trend. And right here we had our established bull trend. So we have a low here, high, higher low right here, and now we have a higher high. And this pattern is these 4 things right here, the low, high, higher low, higher high, are the 4 things you need to establish a bull trend. So once you see that, you can look for the last down candle here before this up move for a potential support zone. So you can see, if we draw a box around that zone, this is indeed a support zone for price on 2 tests before eventually we go below it here in May and we close below it. So now that we've closed below it, this should flip to be resistance. That's classic support resistance flip zone. And so this should end up being pretty significantly strong resistance on a retest. So that's what we're going to be looking for on a retest there. Let's go down to the 2-day time frame. So from a 2-day perspective, you can see that we're starting to lose some steam here. We're getting some declining bull volume here on the 2-day time frame, but that's okay. The interesting development that I'm looking for here is a close above this key gray level here, which was in fact our resistance for quite some time now. So this was resistance, resistance here, and then, obviously we didn't touch it down here, but then once we come into it here again, we push right through it with this nice strong bull candle here, and now it looks like we're going to close above that. And if we do in 6.5 hours, this will end up being a strong support zone for price. I would expect a bounce off of this level at least on the first go. So we'll see what happens there. If we look at this from a super guppy perspective, you can see that we've gotten, as soon as it's turned red, we immediately were like, nope, we're not going to allow that to really metastasize into anything. We're going to really go right above that and close above that already. So that's good news for the bulls, because when these start to expand, they typically, the longer term EMAs, which are the green ones here, typically hold for strong support or resistance, especially in the first few tests. So to immediately invalidate this is good news for the bulls. If we go to the 1 day time frame, similarly, you can see that we've finally pushed above these super guppy EMAs here, and now we have closed 3 candles above that. So now once we get back into kind of the zone where they are at, this is going to end up being strong support. These EMAs are going to now flip to support. And there's a bunch of them in this zone. So interestingly enough, that's confluent with this gray zone as well. So that's something to add confluence for a potential bounce there. The other thing to watch is a potential edge-to-edge move here on Bitcoin's price action. So an edge-to-edge move on the Ichimoku cloud indicator is where you have the cloud and you have these 2 edges of the cloud here. You have this side and then you have this side here. So an edge-to-edge move is exactly what you'd think it would be in this scenario, and that's taking a trade from one edge of the cloud to the other edge of the cloud. So in this case, it would be going long from this edge of the cloud up to this edge of the cloud. So given that we're kind of losing some steam up here on the daily time frame, in my opinion, we'll probably come down in the next couple days here and retest that gray zone that we talked about. And if we do bounce off that zone, then we might go back inside of the cloud here and then see a potential move up to the roughly $47,000 level, which is, you can see confluent with that gray resistance level. It's right near there. So that would be the area that price might potentially rise to. Lower time frames. So if we look at this from an 8-hour perspective, we can see that we have closed above this gray support zone now here. So this was initially resistance here. Now we've closed above it. We retested it. We had a bounce. So here's your bounce. And now we're going down again. So the other thing to note here is this 8-hour doji candle right here that we just got on this up move. So typically when you have a doji candle after a move up or down, this is signaling indecision in the market. And what that means is price should reverse and go in the opposite direction. So if it's going up and you see a doji candle at the top, it's signifying indecision, meaning we can't agree that the price is going to continue to go up, so therefore the only other direction it can go is down. Similarly, if it's going down and you see a doji candle, that's meaning we can't agree that it's going to continue to go down, and because people are buying the dip, and so therefore we're going to reverse and go up. So that's what we're seeing right here. We see this doji candle, and since this doji candle is opened, we're seeing the drawdown in price here. So where's our support? Well, we obviously have all the support zones that I just talked about. If we close above the gray zone will end up being our strong support level there on the 2-day time frame. We also have this 4-hour purple zone, which I will talk about now. So this is where we had our very simple bull trend. It's very clear here. So we have a low, high, higher low, and then higher high. So this candle right here is going to be the support zone. So that candle is from July 27th and goes from about 38,329 down to 37,351. So that is that. And then let's see, look at the Super Guppy. So you can see the Super Guppy is now fully expanded to be in the green territory here. So on the 4-hour time frame. So this is really good for bullish continuation as well. You can see we haven't actually tested these green expanded EMAs yet. So they should be good for a test here on the first go. And so if we do end up closing above that gray zone, this is adding further confluence to that zone for a potential bounce. We could look at the Ichimoku cloud. So Ichimoku cloud is in the most bullish scenario it can be in here as well, with the cloud being green, Tenkin above the Kijun, price above all of that, and then all of that above the cloud. So this is in good position for continuation as well. So we'll look to see if this potentially carries us to higher prices in the coming days and weeks. So that's all I got for this one, guys. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And if you'd like to start trading Bitcoin and Ethereum like a pro, you can join our exclusive Leutheria Signals Discord channel that we just released. You can send an email to team@leutheria.com to get the information sent over to you on how to join that group. This is where you're going to get unlimited 24/7 access to all of the different trading ideas that I have related to these two assets. So definitely check that out. And until tomorrow, onward and upward.